shut down Lakeshore Drive, those of you that remember it. But because we were sharing content that day, that we were delivering pizzas in a blizzard, a friend of mine who runs she's the office manager for the 311, and they also take the overflow calls for 911. She saw that we were delivering pizza, and she said, Ramon, we are snowed in here at the Office of Emergency Communications. It's 11 o'clock at night, and the same people that are here are the ones that got here at 9. Can you deliver pizza here? I told her, absolutely. Why were we able to do it? Because it's in our DNA to do things like that. The cool thing about that was that the day after, people were tweeting, Ramon, anytime people were talking about who was open, they were talking about Domino's. Now, the story that I totally love is that people watch, people listen, and people share. A friend of mine, the local tourist Teresa Carter, sends me this tweet. This is like 3 months after the storm. And she says, Ramon, I'm on the trolley tour. And the guy just gave you a shout out that you guys were open during the blizzard. The other thing that's really cool is that through social media, I got to meet Teresa. And one time, she sends me a tweet up on top, Ramon, we just ordered pizza. And we have it on its way. I happen to be speaking at an event in London, and I do what every brand should do. You whip out your video camera and send them a 20-second video thank you. That totally blew her mind when she saw it. Now, Teresa, you're right here. You got that mic in your hand. I want to ask you a quick question.
Okay.
How did this level of interaction make you feel?
Okay. I felt wanted, I felt valued as a customer, and I felt a connection to you. I thought if he's going to go to that level when he's all the way over in the UK, and he's actually going to create a video, I mean, it's just incredible.
Absolutely.
And I've been a fan ever since.
Well, thank you very much. Now, the whole thing is people say, now you were selling a franchise brand of pizza in Chicago. How did you do it? That's how we did it. We did it one conversation at a time and one customer at a time. And when you do that year after year, month after month, it can only grow. Another thing, a few years ago that we did that was really exciting for me, in 2009, was what I called Guest Pizza Maker Night. I always love to help people raise money. In this case, I think I totally blew her mind, Leah Jones, when I said I will help you raise money for the 3-day Avon walk that you're doing. So what did we do? We invited Leah down to our store as a guest pizza maker, and I said every pizza that people are ordering based on the tweets that you're sending, we're going to give you $5 for every pizza. Well, in 2 hours, she was able, through her network, to bring 40 orders into the store. So I believe that this, Leah, you had this as your Facebook profile for a few weeks after that, creating content. But the thing that I thought was most cool about this is that we made a video. And we'll put the link up on the videos, probably right here. Yep. So all of us, we have the Kennedy, Ramon, we have Leah Jones,
and the Fendi,
Randy, all of us, we are high. So we go deposit the check. Or at least we try to.
All right. It's time to deposit the check.
Oh well, I guess it didn't work. But it was an honor to help you. And through the interactions like that, I am blessed and honored to still consider you as an incredible friend. And thank you for being here. So, in order to be successful with using the tools of social media, you need to define social media and your goals. In our business, this is how we define it. We define social media as basically just being an aggregate of tools that you can use in addition to your core business plans. If you don't have a product, if you don't have a desire that people want to buy, social media is not going to help you, especially in this world of transparency. Here's a snapshot, 2005, of a communication bulletin board at Northwestern University, almost paralleling the time that Yelp was invented. The thing is that whatever time you're in, you use the tools at your disposal. And this is where we can get comments from students back in 2005. Other things that we were doing in 05 and 04 was communicating with students through instant messenger. The cool thing about this is that since 04 and 05, we were using instant messenger. This was our microblog before Twitter was invented. So when Twitter was invented, and they said you now have 140 characters, I'm like, cool, we have 100 characters more. Brands were challenged saying, how can I tell my story in just 140 characters? So we actually had a foot up on the competition. Things that we would do in Chicago is we would pay attention. We would use the monitoring tools that are out there, such as a case like this. Kenmore Styles having a conference in Chicago, so I'm following the hashtag to see who's going to be in town. A friend of mine, Melanie, tweets, this pregnant lady forgot to pack snacks. I'm like, oh my God, this is like terrible. To the rescue. How long is it going to take you to get to your room? We had pizza waiting for her when she arrived. The very famous hotel not too far from the water tower said, we could have wine and cheese waiting for you upon your arrival, but they did not catch the part that said pregnant. So that delivery there turned into a big pizza party, and to this day, I still continue to be very good friends with Melanie. That is what has been coined Ramon Wow all over the world. My goal was to get customers addicted to the experience so that the day they went to a competitor, the day that they went someplace else, they would feel a void. And they would say, you know what, I might have saved money, it might have solved my hunger, but it just wasn't as much fun. I would encourage people to tweet what you eat. I would encourage people wherever you are in the world to share with your communities the fact that you've ordered Domino's Pizza. One of the examples I want to share with you is someone who I met through social media. John David, known as the Mafia Hairdresser. I remember one of the first times you tweeted me, and when you said, we're down here at the salon, could you hook us up for lunch? And I'm like, sure, why not? Little did I know that was going to turn into the phenomenal relationship that we have today. I don't know if I've ever publicly told you thank you, but when you're in Boca Raton, Florida, and you ordered Domino's, you took a screenshot of your order and you shared it with your networks. And you've also considered me on your blog post calling me the Lee Iacocca of pizza. So my question to you, JD, as a user of the tools of social media, what is something that encouraged you to want to share and to be as open with the fact that you enjoy Domino's Pizza? Was it the relationship building, or is it just your habit of sharing everything you do?
I don't share everything I do. But it was a relationship. I'm a hairdresser by trade. I'm a writer. So this is about relationships to me. And the three of us connect. I now write for the local tourist. The relationship with you starting online has become something I quote you in the books I write. And it is about relationships. It is about that feeling tone of the pizza, which I do love.
Sorry, that will work.
All right, we're on? Yeah?
Quite possible.
No.
That's okay.
So these tools are what enable the relationship.
Yeah, the tools. I mean, Twitter, Facebook. We've got our blogs that talk back and forth to each other now. And our writing. I mean, I did a 2-part series on you about how you came up with the pizza tracker, basically, and how you use this communication tool, which gets me into dialogue with you about your tools. What is it? So I learn.
Cool. So the whole thing is that one of the tools that we used here is we wanted to get on other people's blogs because of the networks they have. We could do whatever we want, but when you connect with people that have networks, your message flows a lot faster. To the extent of like this. We have a friend of mine, Leanne, social media director at Disney. After I spoke at Disney and she went on vacation, she said, Ramon, look where I'm at now in Waterford, Ireland. Or Janelle, congratulations, Janelle, who is now doing customer service management over at the Woodfield Mall. And when she's on a trip from India, she sees the logo and she sends it to me. But I would say, let's move the mic over here to the middle. Tom, raise your hand. Now here is a story that I have shared all over the world. When you run into somebody who literally sails the Atlantic, I don't know if you wake up one day and you say, let me just see what's going on in the middle of the ocean. But Tom one day sends me this tweet, I'm thinking of you a few days ago while on the Atlantic, and I'm like, oh, thank you, really cool. I appreciate that. He said, no, really, Ramon, I really wish I could get a pizza and get a Ramon wow moment. And when I looked at this, I'm like, whoa, Tom, now this is really exciting. Now, Tom, how has the fact of me sharing this story about what you shared with me made you feel?
Well, it makes me feel a personal connection to you, and that's what social media is all about, is the personalities behind the names. I don't think any of this could have happened without you, without me, without Teresa, without JD. I mean, there's this.
That's the whole thing. I tell people, I'm boring. What's exciting are my customers. So here's the other thing. So how are we able to make this happen? We're able to make this happen because we treat customers like friends. One of these days I would love to have a social media panel, a social media conference, and I would invite only people that actually don't use the tools of social media. And the best example that I can possibly find is a gentleman known as El Güero. El Güero has a business, a restaurant in Pilsen on 18th Street in Chicago. When I had the opportunity to meet him, when I had the opportunity to see how he runs his business, and what he does with regards to the engagement with his customers, this is something that business schools around the world should be studying. The business school teachers should be in his restaurant on Saturday and on Sunday. The business school teachers should be at his restaurant at 3:30 in the morning and asking him, why have you been getting up at this hour for the past 38 years? What he does in his business, he invokes this philosophy that he wants customers and friends for life. There is not one single customer that leaves that restaurant without getting a free sample as you walk in. And what I totally love is that nobody leaves that place without getting one of these incredible lollipops. So I actually asked him to bring me a couple of lollipops. So the whole thing is that within your business, within your brand, find your smile. Find your lollipop. Find that one thing that's going to make a difference in other people's lives. No quiero un cliente para una vez. I want them for life. So when you think of your business, what happens if you never lost a Twitter follower? What happens if you never lost someone in your email database? What happens if you never lost anyone who did not want to read your newsletter? The epitome of customer service is happening down there on 18th Street. And I tell you what, if you tweet them and reach out to them, they'll roll out the red carpet for you and thank you for being here today. The other thing was that when you look at your database, see, part of your customers are going to move and they're going to die. Leaves you your core customers that you need to buy more and to share more. So what do we do about feeding the funnel? Where do we get the new subscribers? Well, see, what I did in the restaurant business is that I connected with parents and I connected with their kids, very similar to what they're doing down there at Carnitas Uruapan. Because you need to realize that who's going to be buying my product 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. So in this case, Miss Lori tweets me after the Super Bowl and it's basically telling me, I am out of food, what kind of deals do you have? The thing that's really cool about this is that Miss Lori has been teaching her kids how to engage with the brand.
Feeding us since our mom forgot to. Oh, wow.
I love that, getting messages on pizza boxes of our customers. And it's the same way. So I was really able to connect with El Güero because I would see how the kids leave his restaurant so excited to come back the next week. And I was able to parallel that to see what other kids were doing when I was in charge of the brand. And that just gave me that feeling that I was on the right track. The other thing is, I love here, a friend of mine, she says, every year that my son has a birthday party, I'm going to take a photo with him. I had to apologize to her for no longer being part of the brand, but I would have loved to have seen how this photo was when he has his own kids. In our business, what we wanted to do is we wanted to nurture emotional-based connections. Because you can quite possibly forget every single thing that I told you today. But at minute 59 and at minute 60, and as you walk out that door, you will remember how I made you feel. So here's the difference. A friend of mine, Jeff Willinger, who's probably a lot of your friends, while running the Chicago Marathon, lost an earbud. Now, I've never been blessed to run a marathon, but I'm sure that this increases and gives you a handicap. So as he's tweeting out there that I can't believe how bad this is, I saw the opportunity to make a difference in his day. I call my store that we had on Division in LaSalle, and I said, go to the pharmacy, buy a new set of headphones, make a sign, go stand in the middle of the Chicago Marathon, and you find this guy. Now, Jeff, I did tweet to him, let him know that please look out. And when he saw that we were standing there in the middle of the Chicago Marathon with another set of headphones, this is what he had to say.
Out there, and sure enough, was on the other side, but my very $1,000,000.
Now I made him feel like $1,000,000. Was I selling him a pizza at that moment? Was I cutting a deal? Was I getting ink to dry on a contract? No, I was letting him know that the face behind the logo absolutely loves him, and that whenever he needs help, I got his back. And we did that for as many customers as we possibly could. The further I was from home, the more connected I was. Here's a really good example with Zachary Wright. Tweets me, Ramon got pizza on his way. Now when he tweets that, I'm pretty sure he was doing this on the remote control of life called the phone. So when he sends this, in his mind, I am right here. But I happen to be in Sydney, Australia. So I'm in the Central Business District and I see the tweet and I do what every other brand does. Just grab my phone, put on video, send them a 20-second video thank you, post it up on YouTube. And all I wanted to do was my way of saying thank you. When he reads it,
Zach, thanks so much for sending us the video. It really means a lot when a brand reaches out to you and touches you. You've done an amazing job with your brand here in Chicago, and Kylie and I both just wanted to say thank you. So from me, thank you, and from Kylie,
Thank you.
have a great time in Sydney.
now when brand competitor wants to go knocking on his door and offer him a cheaper pizza deal, when brand competitor wants to say you've been eating too much pizza, why don't you come over here and try this? When you have this layer of emotional connections, it becomes a lot harder to rip them out of my database. Now, just like in dating, in this case here, Zach's mom chimes in and she says, Ramon, thank you for your kindness to my son and to my daughter-in-law. You are the epitome of excellent customer service. How did we make mom feel? So I'll tell you what, this is how we built the brand. This is how we sold franchise pizza in a pizza town like Chicago. One conversation, one customer at a time. See, my goal, aside from making everything, work as a business, part of my mindset was this, is that I knew that I couldn't make money selling pizzas for $1, but I could make a ton of money off the conversation it generated. Now, I'm not saying that the pizzas were priced at 99 cents, but now and then we would throw some deals out there like this. I go on to Facebook on November the 11th, and I send out there who wants to order 11 pizzas for $11. At that time, Blagitza, and I know you're in Paris today, she says, you know what, Edelman Digital today is going to have these pizzas. So we disrupted Edelman's day. And they actually one-upped me because I made my video thank you for ordering to them, which was cool because the unofficial blog for Vidler at South by picked this up and they ran with it, which was cool. But what was really cool about this was the fact that Blagitza and David Armano actually made a video of the pizza being delivered. Now what really made this cool is that because of their network, within the first 24 hours, not sure if I had 1,500 views. So the whole thing is now people start commenting and asking, why are you ordering Domino's? Who's this Ramon guy? ... Social media can use you. Social media can help you. Almost do anything you want if used correctly, if used with a plan. I totally believe that social media can get you upstairs. It got me today to the 7th floor here at Morningstar with this as a backdrop. So the thing is that when used correctly, it was very simple to be able to sell to offices and to businesses by engaging with people that actually work in those, in networking events, through all of the social media tools that exist there. One of the coolest examples that I have is work that I would do with students at the universities. Is I would always want to help them get to learn how to use the tools of social media so that when they went out and they got an internship and they landed a job. And here's this one case which says, Ramon, I need to get you into the Red Frog events office so that you can come check it out. And that happened. So when you build real relationships, people will take that with you to the next level. And thank you for being here, Scott. Now I got a few questions for you a little bit later. Now, real-time marketing. See, now sometimes we think brands are so big, Ramon, I can't do this. We're so-and-so, we can't do this. We're not a mom and pop small brick and mortar. Well, how about American Airlines? Is that a big enough example for you that you can show examples to just one customer and love? So I tweet American Airlines last December, and I said when this flight lands from Paris, I would have finally reached executive platinum status, having flown. And I hear my name called over the PA system. With the following passenger, Ramon De Leon, but they didn't say it, Ramon De Leon. But That's what they should have said. And he said, make your way known at the jet bridge. Now, I was seated in 3A. So I actually looked to make sure there wasn't security or a dog. I had nowhere to run, but I just wanted to be prepared. This is what they did. You're not going to believe this world. Jet bridge, all right? I just got off the plane. I've been in Chicago only a few minutes, and then I hear my name say, Ramon De Leon, please come here. So I am being greeted by staff, friends here from American Airlines here in Chicago, and your goal is, what was your message to me?
Congratulations on your executive platinum status. Woo!
Oh my God! Thank you very much. Okay, awesome. Now, see the example here. Now, just imagine. I mean, we're talking here at Social Media Week in Chicago. Now, just imagine if we were a city known for hospitality. If we were a city known for just how friendly, how great, how incredible our customer service is. See, the thing is that it can happen. It can happen if you set it as a goal. A big airline can do it. Why can't you? A little bit about me, and I talked about this. In 1998, we started online ordering using a .com 7 years before Domino's corporate did. And this landed when we wanted to solve a need at DePaul University to students that got locked out of their computers for being bad. We got locked out of their phones for being bad. In 2004, we were using AOL and instant messaging before Twitter was invented. And in 2005, when Facebook landed at Northwestern University, we were there. And I am blessed and honored that that Megan one day told me, Ramon, if you want to make Domino's explode on campus, you need to have an AOL screen name and you need to be on Facebook. So she started Facebook groups. And what we did back then is we had a very simple blog called NU Domino's. Now, aside from the content creation and content marketing, and I didn't even know we were doing content marketing because I'm not sure if the word was invented then, but the biggest thing that we did is we had a photo section. And in that photo section, every single event that we're part of on campus, we took pictures. And the pictures had the Domino's logo, had neat graphics, my nephew's company on there, and we put them up in photo albums, and we told students to right-click, swipe, and save these. And what do you think they did? That's exactly what they did. Because the megapixels of life in your pocket, known as the remote control of life, had not been invented yet. So we were getting so much content being shared as a brand on Facebook before Facebook even decided how to open up the doors to a brand, because back then you still needed a .edu email address. So I love this. A few years later, in 2009 and 10, we no longer had to tag photos because students were sharing photos of themselves enjoying the pizza with product placement. Fast forward to 2011, now students were making videos of pizzas being delivered. And I love every single Phi Sigma at UIC, because at the sorority house, they would love to make videos and love to make the pizza driver nervous, because when you got 20, 30 girls coming after you, hey, it was a lot of fun delivering pizza. But then this is what I called Facebook, oh my God. Because through networking events and taking pictures with customers, I would just love it, Like when you would do this, Teresa, and we had a special going on, and you said, I changed my profile pic because Ramon has this thing going on. I'm like, wow, thank you. In 2005, I actually considered going back to college just so I can open up a Facebook account. But fortunately enough, Zuckerberg changed his mind 6 months later, and that wasn't necessary. Now, I used to use this slide as what I would call my water break. And people would say, well, why would you do that? I said, why? Because she looks pretty holding a Domino's pizza. So when I'm on campus, now I'm going to need a mic over here from the second row, please. So when I was on campus talking to students, you would think that I'm talking about pizza deals. You would think that I'm talking about how we can help you save money, which is true. But the biggest thing that I would talk to students about was how the tools of social media can help you. What's Google going to say about you when you want to go get that internship? What are people going to see when they web search your name at Open Facebook? What's your digital DNA? Now, I have here, pass the mic over here. I have Scott and Adam Palmer. So when you guys were students at UIC, one of the things that I love to do was exactly that. I would love for you to share really quick the impact of me trying to open up your eyes to the digital tools that were waiting for you after you walked across that stage and got that diploma. What impact did that have post being in school?
So Ramon was very instrumental with our organization. We started it at UIC, really showed us how we could use Facebook in its early stages to connect with students on campus, showed the power of connecting online through social media, and then after school, it opened up the doors to a career. Adam and I both worked at a digital agency here in Chicago, doing social media for major brands, and everything I've learned personally, how to approach people online, how to speak to customers, how to build relationships has really just come through the relationship I've had with for the last 6-7 years now.
Cool, thank you very much. And the cool thing with Scott's story is 2 years ago, during Social Media Week at the Trip Tower, when he was looking for opportunity next after the Red Frog event, I introduced him to Social Katie. Social Katie gave him an opportunity for about 10 months, and now you have gone on. So the thing that really blessed me and still sends those chills is that after helping the university for all of these years, last year they made me an honorary fraternity brother of TKE, and it's the first time that ever happened. So publicly, I thank you guys. Thank you very, very, very much. So what you need to do is you need to trust your instincts, because if you don't trust your instincts, who is going to trust you? So one day, I decided that I wanted to connect with the Chicago cabbie. And I wanted to load that cab up with pizzas and drive around downtown, and if you tweeted us, we would bring you a pizza. Now we're going to need the mic over here in row 4 on the right. So let me give you a snapshot of what it was like. Ooh. There's some people up there? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I got 3 pepperoni, I got a cheese, and I got your special pizza. Well, let me add one more. So you're in Randolph and Dearborn? Yeah, I'm into it. Eat you. Can I make that left turn for me? No, hold on. We're stay right there at Dearborn. No, all right, then. We're gonna come to you. No, we're in the we're in a cab with a Domino's Pizza sign on it. I'm with Chicago cabbie.
I did, as a matter of fact. I did.
James, Media Club. We're here to deliver.
I appreciate that.
We have a cop coming up behind us. Looks like she's about to write a ticket. Hey, we're getting out. This is it.
Yeah.
We have a special pizza here, extra sauce, light on the Philly cheesesteak.
Thank you. Would you like to show?
Brendan, your favorite pizza, Philly cheesesteak. Live on the show.
I can see it.
Live on the street.
Very nice.
It's got a lovely tweet here. My son insisted on Domino's tonight, so here's a cheesy cheers from Paris to the wow man, Ramon. Wow. You gotta love it. People ask, is there an ROI on social media? Depends what you measure. How do you measure love? Live from the streets of Chicago cabbie. We're out here. This is, we can tweet a cab.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chicago.
Thank you guys. I will make sure to keep tweeting.
So how did you get this pizza? You just went on Twitter?
Yeah, I just went on Twitter and tweeted Chicago Cabbie and
Ramon, wow.
Yeah.
Can't be any easier than that. Right. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Waiting at the light, and you can see that Jackson and Jefferson. We're right there, Jackson and Jefferson. And this shows you where I am. If you're on latitude, or you can go to my website, chicagocabby.com, and it will show you my location. You can refresh the page, it'll show you where the latest location that I was.
So that's like past pizza tracker, past bus tracker. That's live stuff.
That's live.
that's absolutely genius.
Now we had a lot of fun doing that, didn't we?
It
The first delivery thing
was
very
great.
much
I mean, I
program.
never thought delivering
What can I say? I just love.
in the taxi. But Ramon, I met him on Twitter, some people introduced us. And that was a great moment, because after that we made this plan about delivering pizzas in downtown and people tweet, and it was just great. I just noticed one of the guys in the video, which I didn't remember that day that I met him. He became my regular customer. Not only he, now every time he needs to go to the airport, he can give me a call. His girlfriend is my regular customer. She even calls me when she flies in. So doing that video, that definitely brought a lot of new changes in my Twitter account, a lot of new followers. I don't like to call them followers because they're my friends. Like Ramon said earlier, I think of my customers more like my friends. I don't like to call them customers. I interact way more than them with them in just not in my. We even go out and have lunches or dinners. So I definitely enjoy doing that, because every time I talk to somebody on Twitter, they need a ride, I try my best to get them if I'm not available. And that's what I've learned from Ramon by watching the way he does things. And that day was definitely a big day for
Awesome.
me doing this with Ramon.
Thank you very much. Thanks for sharing your story. Plus, you were in a Best Buy commercial for Christmas, right?
Yes, that got me a Best Buy commercial later on.
Thank you very much. So what I want to tell you, aside from trusting your instincts, is that you need to be your own caffeine. And what I mean by that is that you have to be the person, you have to be the brand that lightens up a room when you walk in, not when you walk out. So I tell people all over the world, trust your instincts, be your own caffeine, don't be lazy. Because the thing is that success will only hit a moving target. When you do go to battle, with whatever plans that you have, make sure you got a wingman, somebody that's got your back, so that when you run out of energy, nice interesting to go. Don't be boring. I tell people, don't be boring, because advertising can be the cost of being boring. When we had the brand, our advertising costs actually went down because of all the interaction, all the word of mouth that was organically happening. This is boring, this isn't. It depends how you spruce things up. I was known wherever I was at in the world to just randomly say something like that. Even though I'm in Paris, why don't I just hook somebody up in Chicago back with pizza? Ramon, I wish I could have made it happen. Dude, I already ate. But Mary Kay and Edward Kim said, oh man, feed me anytime you want, brother. So this is how we made things happen. My print marketing pieces, if they didn't inspire a pizza purchase, I wanted them to create a conversation. Because just as the example, with the Chicago Cabbie and other customers, my goal was to promote my customers. I'm boring. My customers were phenomenal. In 2005, in the Daily Northwestern, the official pizza of Jenny Kim, I used to take ads out like this and put them above the crossword, because I would see how students had the Daily Northwestern folded, and this was exposure for my brand, but it really was exposure for my customers. And Jenny Kim today, she's part of the marketing team for the Chicago Fire. So just think, organically starting stuff in 2004 and 2005 as a business, did it help me out in 12 and 13? Absolutely. Tweets from my Foursquare mayors, giving their own tips, tricks, and ideas on how to engage with the brand, product hashtags. Thanks for tweeting. Tweets from my customers on the printed menus. The thing is that I wanted my menus to be like that cereal box that you just read over and over and over because you have it in front of your hand. The most successful print marketing piece we ever had was this Thanks Chicago, and I ran it for about a year. It was the same special, but because of the fact that it said thank you, is what really got people using this and loving this one particular print marketing piece. So what would my Foursquare mayors think? See, I gave my Foursquare mayors authority. They could do whatever they wanted with the business. I didn't care. Look, Mom, my Twitter ID is on the Domino's menu. Gonna have to go get pizza for dinner tonight because my name is on the menu. It was very common for that to happen. So today, I tell people, let's go old school on Foursquare. Here's a marketing tip. Thank people for checking in when they tweet that you're there. This is something that used to be really big back in the day when it started, but today it's just gone to the wayside. See, the thing is that we realize that the best advertising is word of mouth. Our brand is what our customers said about it, so let me give them something to say. So what was some of the word of mouth things that customers were saying? Ramon, your energy, you make me want to sell your pizza. Ramon, today, I used you as an example at a client meeting. Ramon, we're headed to Chicago. Other than taking a picture at your Domino's Pizza stores, what is there for a tourist to do in town? I love here how Ginny Dietrich one day says, down home, Bruce, you're welcome. I thought it was funny that we both blogged about Ramon on the same day. Now, when Spin Sucks blogs, it gets read. So thank you very much on that one, Ginny. And Scott, you just happen to be like everywhere, man. When you told me that I should wear a Superman costume because I seriously always save the day. So thank you very much. See, the thing is that people are distracted. So you need to make sure that your activities, that your product, and that your actions get people's attention. And this is pretty cool troll in Oslo. See, today people are busy and people are distracted. Not that brushing your teeth while walking is a common thing in a central business district in Australia, but if he's brushing his teeth, I don't think he's reading the mobile or paying attention. See, the content that we created and the content that you provide has to provide a vision of what's next. You need to give them a snapshot of what they're going to feel, of what they're going to read while they're there. Yesterday, at a session, when we were talking about content that gets shared, somebody says, just be awesome. Towel origami. In 2011, I took this screenshot and shared it. A 28-second video that had 13,000 views. 1 year later, 158,000 views. And I just looked at it this morning, 339,000 views. When you give people awesome, when you give people wow to share, that's exactly what they do. So I told Disney, you know, your toilet paper is boring. If you would spruce it up just a little bit, maybe next time somebody checks into your hotel, they might just take a photo of it. So I've been blessed that every time I go back to speak at Disney, they just kind of go on origami overboard. They might not do it for everybody, but I'm blessed that they do it for me. See, my thing is that I want to keep the conversation alive. I want to make sure that post-pizza buying experience, people are still talking about it and people are still sharing about it. You'd think that after we delivered 75 pizzas to an event that those boxes were headed to the trash. Absolutely not. An action booth, and Joe does an incredible job. And to see the people lined up to take their picture, jumping with empty pizza boxes, was just absolutely phenomenal. Gay Pride Parade up in Boys Town. I always wanted to be found. It did, you know, get out from behind the counter, let the community and let the world get to know you. I love this is that because before some of the geolocating stuff happened, customers would just come into the store and say, who made my pizza? Who is the manager? I want to take a picture with them. You know, and then tweet and put up on their networks that they're bragging that they are there. The whole thing is you think, when's the last time you did something like this with your favorite barista? When's the last time you did this with your favorite doorman or whoever makes a difference in your life? But it happened in the pizza industry. What were some of our results? Number 1 in sales, top 4 in the Chicago area because of the engagement that we had with their customers. Now, in the world of real time, everything was not always just beautiful. You know, we did have some negative moments. See, the power of one unhappy customer, and especially using the tools of social media, is really deep and it's really intense. This car on Lawrence Avenue, not too far from my house, off of Elston Avenue, is parked in front of American Family Insurance every single day for the past 7 years. Now, I don't read Korean, but I will tell you, he seems like he's pretty upset with that brand. So just imagine if this person tweeted or had a network on digital, but this person is willing to get parking tickets to let people know how unhappy he is with that brick and mortar business. So in our business, we always had reminders that customers are real people, reminding our team members that we wouldn't be in business without customers. I mean, we had little snapshots on the right of what it is that you can do to make a difference. And the biggest difference, in my opinion, was you could just smile and call people by their name and not by their number. We trained, we educated, and we inspired our team members so that when they delivered pizzas to the United Center, where do you think they parked? Right in front of the Michael Jordan statue. Why? Because it's a tourist attraction. How many people didn't take photos of this and say, why in Roosevelt Domino's Pizza from the Michael Jordan statue? Well, to be figured out. So this was like, you know, training people with elevator pitches and how our team members can also themselves use the tools of social media. Now, there was a social media crisis in April of 2009 where a couple of people decided that it would just be fun to make a mockery of how food is being produced and throw it up on YouTube. And it was this prank that went viral. Until today, you can web search the Dominos Pizza social media crisis. Now, this is something that affected the brand globally. But here in Chicago, when I caught wind of this, I responded to every single blog post that I could find. I mean, everybody was writing about this social media nightmare. Even my friend, the CEO of Domino's in Australia, had to go on all the major networks and say what happened in North Carolina, this is not how we run our business in Australia and in New Zealand. So even though this had a global response, here in Chicago, this is what I did. All of that negative content, I retweeted it. Brands don't retweet negative content, but I did. I commented on local blog posts. I provided links to the health department so the community can see what the city had to say about our locations for the past 7 years. I invited bloggers to come into our to our kitchens. Teresa, you even stopped by one of our kitchens, one day, and I didn't sleep because my blog alerts of this were on steroids. This is what it felt like for 3 weeks, but this is what happened. In the darkest